So we are kicking this New Year's off strong with a hard factory reset on my desktop, which means losing a day and then having to hard factory reset it again because it didn't reset properly the first time. So I'm losing another day, but I still want to get content out, therefore I'm going to apologize for the audio quality. I am on my laptop. It's not easy to set things up here and I'm unfamiliar with it. So I am going to apologize now. If this isn't a good sign for the New Year's, I don't know what is. Anyways, speaking of the New Year's, I would like to talk about it, the plans for it, and sort of have an optimistic view on 2024. Hello and welcome back to the channel. It's a bit different. You are watching me draw a person. Drawing a person isn't abnormal. It's the medium that is. Don't usually draw traditionally. But here's the thing. It's what I fell in love with. Grade 9 art class. Oh man. I think the love for art started well before that, by the way. I absolutely adored it growing up. And it was something that I gravitated towards. In Asian, I think Chinese tradition and Vietnamese, when you have a child, you put an assortment of items out and they are sort of to represent either values the children might have, but in our case we did career paths and I gravitated towards crayons and a coloring book. So that's sort of like an artistic choice. I think it also means it was a design choice. So here we are. Anyways, I thought it would be sort of a good substitute rather than doing a speed painting while my computer is dying to record me filling out sketchbook spreads and ultimately doing this portrait drawing. It's like an 18-minute video in real time, just so you understand the speed, I guess, so you can suffer with me in real time. Nah, I wasn't suffering. I actually quite enjoyed it a lot. I actually love drawing portraits. It's sort of stylized, but it's bound to be. And yeah, I enjoy it. I actually have a few different portraits that I've done throughout time. So yeah. With that being said, let's talk first about this channel. So in a previous video, I mentioned rebranding and starting anew with the content and channel stuff. I think there's pros and cons to starting a brand new channel versus rebranding this channel. And we've talked about it. It was a good discussion and it sort of helped to make a decision in a way. And then I also had this discussion with someone else just so then I was like reassured that this is the right decision. Starting a channel is actually something that I've done in the past. Just a Bit Blank was that new channel that I started anew. Now, looking back at it, it's bittersweet because on one hand, I have a growing community and you guys are sweethearts. And it was a all right time to do it because the previous channel wasn't so great and it was small and it didn't really matter a whole lot. Like it was sort of a tester. But now I feel like I'm committed. And then looking back, after I got rid of the old channel, I sort of missed the content that was on there. I had moments where I thought it'd be really cool to react or redraw something from there and like talk about it. And also to have it on the channel to sort of show how far I've come. That doesn't dismiss the idea of starting a fresh new channel. If this absolutely goes sideways, then maybe. But the thing is that it's not a completely different direction that I'm going into that warrants me starting a new channel. You see, I still want to do illustrations and speed paintings. I still want to ramble over top videos and all these things. It's just that it might be under a different name and it might look a little bit different. It's sort of supposed to be a sign of improvement and that I'm growing and learning things as I go, and not so much of I want to start fresh, new, and put out completely different content. I'm scrapping studio vlogs. I think that is a lot of work and punching above my weight class. So I think I am going to stick with something like this or speed paintings. The only thing that might be a drastic change in content would be the graphic design component. I want to introduce more graphic design into the channel because that's something else that I'm passionate about, and I want this channel to help me push my creativity as well as sort of just share these moments with you and processes with you guys. So that's the only thing that might be a drastic enough change to maybe warrant a redesign. But this isn't going into the educational channels where I'm going to teach you how to use Adobe Illustrator. That is not here. That is way above my pay grade. So yeah, it's going to be more like can I do a brand guideline within a day? Or can I redesign a whole logo within 5 hours, or watch me help brand my friend's channel. Those type of things that I don't think would hinder this channel. So with that being said, I did take the comments into consideration, and I think they were very valid. Maybe if I do a drastic change, then I will start a new channel. But as of right now, I just don't think I want to. Because I still want to do speed paintings and cool illustrations, but I'm just throwing in a little bit of graphic design since I've grown as a person and I've changed as a person, and I think to keep myself motivated enough to continue this channel, I need to change up some things as well and sort of stay true to myself in a way. That's all for the channel. Now, with that being said, I am entering my final semester of graphic design, which is sounding like hell. I'm going to be really busy, so anytime I've mentioned the shop, just ignore it. Just dismiss it, because that's not happening. The next 5 months is going to be hectic. I have to prepare my portfolio, and on top of that, that means redoing certain class projects, as well as taking on my own projects. Now, that doesn't sound too bad, but I have a list of things that I want to do for my portfolio, and I have about 3 months to do it and get it all assembled together. And the teachers aren't going to be on our asses to basically make sure that we get assignments done. This is all up to us. So if we leave it to the last month, we'll be scrambling that last month. And I really don't want to do that. So with that being said, and having a whole bunch of projects that I want to do and I need to do on my spare time, I just think that it's a perfect opportunity to introduce it to the channel and record my processes and work on different skills like videography and video editing. So that's sort of the reason why I want to have that little branching out. It's just because it's my interest, and it's the perfect time to do it when I have projects to do and I need deadlines and whatnot. So yeah. The other reason why shop and other major projects like that is not happening is because our instructors specifically told us, this semester we are making you have a heavy workflow. This is just to see how you will do under pressure, and it's also to prepare you for the worst. They are hoping for the best though. And I think that is 100% understandable, because when you're working with other people, when you have a boss and you're working with clients, there will be deadlines that you have to meet and a lot of work to do. If you can't really work under that pressure, I'm not trying to be harsh, but to be blunt, you're not going to fare very well, right? So it's this matter of managing your time, and they're just trying to prepare us for the workspace that hopefully we'll get into 5 months' time. So that's the other thing. I am going into a job placement, and that means I think 6 weeks of working at a company, firm, graphic design place, getting some experience from that, but also potentially getting a job. If I get a job in Nova Scotia, it means that I'm staying here and that I don't really have to worry about moving. But the thing is that if I don't get a job, chances are I'm moving back to Ontario. I am sort of kind of homesick. The people that I met in Nova Scotia is great, and this is something that I don't know if people can relate to, but if you can, like, you're not alone. So I am born and raised in Ontario, but I moved to Nova Scotia for graphic design school and for a change of scenery, some self-discovery things. And I met a lot of great people here. Like, they're absolutely not the problem at all. But I am sort of homesick. I want to be closer to my family. Like, I have one cousin that I absolutely adore because he's so nice, and I want to just see him more frequently because we get along. And I have a large family, and he's like 1 out of 2 people that's around my age group. So yeah, like, I'm close to him. But I haven't seen him in like a year and a half just because I live 14 hours drive away. And it sort of kind of sucks losing or like missing out on things like that. Like, he's started college and whatnot, and I feel like I've missed out a lot on not just his life, but a whole bunch of other people's life. I have a friend who has a child, and I'm missing out on a lot of things in their lives. And I have other friends that, like, I'm missing out on in Ontario. And yeah, I've met really great people here, and these are connections that probably will linger and last a while. But I also just miss everyone I've met in Ontario because, like, I sort of want to be closer to my family, and then B, like, the people that I met back home are the ones that have stuck through a lot of things for me, and I'm just really close to them because we have similar interests and all these things. So it's just sort of kind of hard to be away from a very central group of people. And like, Ontario's not home, but those people are in a way. And I just feel like I'm missing out on so much, like birthdays, and this is sort of like a prime time of our lives. We're like 23, 24 now, and reaching like the time where you need support and you need to have good connections, and it's just been sort of kind of tricky out here by myself. So like, with the chance of possibly moving back to Ontario, it's just not a good time to take on a massive project like opening a shop right now. And I know I've mentioned it so many times, and I sort of feel disappointed in a way to not fulfill it, but like, that will just have to be a later on thing. I want to focus on getting my bearings in the adult world, and also like focus on my career and sort of getting a hold of that and understanding that a bit more, and focusing on my schoolwork, of course. So yeah, that's sort of how that's going. And once again, I want to like appreciate all of you guys for a great year, and just how you engage with the videos. I never really like blowing up. I don't like having a whole lot of followers come quickly. I like having them sort of just trickle in. And the reason for this is because I feel like they are for sure watching your content. Like Instagram, it took like 5 years or something to get even just 700 followers. And even though it might not be like 1,000 or something, I rather it be slow, because I know they're seeing my content and I know they're supporting me, and that they're not just a whole bunch of bots. So yeah, that's the same thing as on YouTube, I find. I'd rather have a trickle of subscribers or even just viewers, because then I know you guys like the content and you actually engage in videos, and I get to make connections with you guys rather than just have like a night of 700 followers and being like, where did you guys come from? And I don't know if you'll be staying. I'm a person who really likes connections rather than just flings. So yeah, I really appreciate you guys always commenting and being so kind and supportive. And it's just a really nice art community that I managed to find a way into, with everyone being really kind and offering advice and stuff. I think it's very important to have these kinds of talk with people, just so that they're more comfortable and they're more willing to talk about these conversations, and that sometimes we just need to support each other, and listening and having a conversation is a good way to do that. So I hope you guys do enjoy this sort of little style change up. Computer's still dying. I checked it downstairs. But yeah, I draw a lot of portraits. I hope to do a lot more concept illustrations and just illustrations in general. You know, I feel like I missed out on it last year just because of the busy and hectic semester. But I hope this year, you know, maybe we'll get to do a sketchbook tour. I might tour actually my last year's sketchbook, just because the school sketches, they're gonna come out anyways. So why not just like also do a sketchbook tour of the things that I've done? But yeah, so that's cool. And then you guys will also get to have sort of a little sneak peek into graphic design in case that's something you're interested in. Because I know personally for me, that was not something that I was taught about. You know, like when you're in school and you're like, I want a career in art. They're like illustrator, fine artist. You could be a drama kid, and that's about it. But there's a lot more ways that you can make it your career, especially if you also like design and stuff like that. So like, I just think that sort of showing you guys or introducing people to graphic design is a nice little thing that's a bonus to the channel, because I know I wouldn't have chosen graphic design if someone literally didn't come up to me and say, have you thought about graphic design? And I'm sitting here in biology like, what is that? What do you mean I'm wasting 4 years of my life when I could have been pursuing like an actual career in design and art? Weird. So yeah, I do hope to still do a design process video coming up soon. Even though my computer's dying, I still have my trusty laptop. So hopefully you'll stick around for that. And that's something else that I sort of kind of feel bad about. I used to do speed paintings a lot more conveniently because my PC could screen record on the go, and it's a 2-in-1, so I had the touch screen. Not anymore. I don't have a 2-in-1 anymore, and it really bums me out because I also don't want to purchase a tablet because buying laptops is expensive already. So yeah, I think that sort of kind of sucks a lot, but we'll see what happens. And yeah, I hope you guys stick around with it. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I hope you also stay hydrated, stay safe, and hopefully I will see you in the next video. Bye.